thing you talk about in the book is one of the reasons this strategy works is because of activist investors or kind of arbitraging into an alternate market where, companies, companies are being traded not because they want the stock to trade high, but because they want to take control of the company. And so activism is a pretty important kind of a catalyst to this strategy. What do you think about this strategy working for companies where the incumbent management is an owner-operator and they have motivations that are completely independent of the minority shareholder motivations and not allowing the activists to get in? So I'm thinking like in countries in Asia where a lot of the companies are owner-operator companies, they really have really different motivations. And even though it could be cheap on an acquirer's multiple, what are your perspectives on why would it work in those markets when the founders have no reason to let anyone in?
It might be, you might need to look at what they're doing with the cash flows when they get them. Are they paying them out? Are they using them to expand the size of their kingdom? Are they investing them in lower return businesses? I think that it definitely does work in the US because you have that tension where somebody comes in. But I think if you look in the US at and this is something that I looked at, the number of those companies that are actually taken over or have some sort of activist event occur is actually still quite small. It's only about 1 in 20. And so for the other 19, it's simply that mean reversion in the business that generates the returns. So when you're looking at Asia, if you're looking at Japan, for example, where it's a fairly insular society, but there are some sort of inroads being made by American activists there. Even though that period of time where there wasn't a lot of activist activity, there still were quite good returns to those undervalued companies, even with all the cross-shareholdings. And I acknowledge that now they have been very undervalued, and maybe they're less so now over the last few weeks. But it still has worked there. I don't think it's necessary for it to work, but there are always metaphysical reasons outside the sort of realm of the back testing that I can't answer, and you're sort of going on faith a little bit. Perhaps that those markets open up too. They continue to open up and they adopt more sort of external type management because it's a globalizing world. They have to sell outside their boundaries, so they need different types of management.
Thank you so much for your talk. It was great.